The scent of baby powder and lavender hung heavy in my Seattle condo as I juggled grocery bags, fumbling for my keys. My baby shower was 2 hours away, and I wanted everything perfect. Chloe, my best friend since our college days at UW, had promised to handle the final touches while I ran last-minute errands. My hip ached under the weight of the bags, my 7-month pregnant belly making every move a challenge. I called out to Chloe, kicking the door shut behind me. "Chloe, I got those cucumber sandwiches you said were a must." No answer. The condo was silent, eerily so for a place that should have been alive with pre-party chaos. I set the bags on the kitchen counter, my eyes catching something odd. A bottle of our favorite champagne, the $200 kind Liam, and I had splurged on to celebrate after the baby arrived, sat half empty, uncorked. We tucked it away in the pantry, saving it for that special moment. My stomach twisted. "Hello," I called, my voice bouncing off the hardwood floors. Nothing. Then, a faint sound splashing water, followed by soft giggles drifted from the master bathroom. I followed it, my belly leading the way, heart thudding. The bathroom door was cracked open. I pushed it wider and froze. Chloe lounged in my tub, bubbles piling up to her chin, my crystal champagne flute dangling lazily from her fingers. "Emma?" She didn't flinch, didn't cover herself, just flashed a slow, hazy smile. "You're early." I glanced at the clock on the wall. It was 1:30. The shower was set for 3 o'clock. "Early?" "Hardly." "What are you doing?" I asked, my voice sharper than I meant. She took a long sip from the glass, bubbles fizzing softly. "I'm running a bit behind. Figured you could use some extra calm before the chaos, with the baby coming." A chill crept down my spine. "What do you mean?" I stepped closer, the steam from the bath fogging the air. "You didn't tell me you were here." She shrugged, water dripping from her shoulders. "I texted you." I yanked my phone from my pocket, scrolling through our messages. Nothing from Chloe since yesterday, when she confirmed she'd be here by noon to set up. "No, you didn't." My fingers tightened around the phone. She tilted her head, inspecting her freshly manicured nails, the ones I'd paid for as a thank you for her help. "Guess I forgot." "No big deal, right?" "No big deal?" I scanned the condo from the bathroom doorway. No balloons, no yellow and green streamers, no gift table we'd spent weeks planning. The living room looked bare, untouched. "Where's the decor?" I asked, my voice catching. "The banners, the centerpieces?" Chloe waved a hand vaguely, bubbles sloshing. "It's around." "Relax, Emma. You're gonna stress the baby out." Her tone was light, but something in her eyes fell off, like a shadow passing over still water. I wanted to press her, to demand answers, but my mind snagged on the champagne. Why would she open it? She knew what it meant to us. The doorbell chimed, sharp and sudden, slicing through the tension. I jumped, my hand flying to my belly. "That's weird," I said, more to myself than her. "No one's supposed to be here yet." Chloe's smile flickered, a hint of irritation crossing her face before she smoothed it away. "Probably the cake delivery," she said, setting the glass on the tub's edge with a soft clink. "You should check." I hesitated, my gaze lingering on her. This wasn't the Chloe I knew, the one who'd held my hair during morning sickness, who'd teared up with me at the first ultrasound. Something was wrong, but I couldn't pin it down. The doorbell rang again, insistent. I turned, my sneakers squeaking on the tile, and headed for the door, each step heavier than the last. As I crossed the living room, my eyes swept the space again. No sign of the party we'd planned. No trace of the joy we'd built together. Only that half-empty bottle on the counter, glinting under the kitchen lights, mocking me. I reached for the doorknob, my heart pounding, a quiet voice in my head whispering that whatever was on the other side might change everything. I opened the condo door, my hand still trembling from the strangeness of finding Chloe in my tub. Harper stood there, her dark hair pulled back, a beautifully wrapped gift tucked under her arm. Her smile was soft, apologetic. "Hey, Emma, she said, her voice gentle. I know I'm way early, but I wanted to drop this off before heading to my mom's. What time's your doctor's appointment? My brows furrowed. Doctor's appointment? I stepped back, letting her in. The Seattle skyline gleamed through the living room windows, but the condo felt colder now, emptier. What are you talking about? Harper's eyes widened, confusion flickering across her face. Chloe texted everyone. Said the shower was moved to 5 p.m. Then, like an hour ago, she sent another message saying it was canceled. Something about you needing to rest, doctor's orders. She glanced past me, her gaze sweeping the bare living room. You okay? You look shocked. The floor seemed to tilt beneath me. Canceled? My phone buzzed in my pocket, then again and again. I pulled it out, my fingers clumsy. The screen lit up with texts from friends. So sorry about the shower, Emma. Feel better soon. Let me know when we can reschedule. Heard you're on bed rest, take care. My breath caught, each message a tiny stab to my chest. Chloe told everyone the shower's off, I whispered, my voice barely audible. Harper frowned, stepping closer. She said you were under too much stress, that the doctor wanted you to take it easy. Isn't that right? Before I could answer, a soft rustle came from the hallway. Chloe appeared, wrapped in my plush white robe, her damp hair twisted up in one of my towels. She froze when she saw Harper, her sweet smile faltering for a split second before snapping back into place. Oh, hey, Harper, she said, her voice dripping with honey. Didn't expect you here. Harper's eyes narrowed, darting between us. I was just dropping off my gift, she said slowly. You know, since Emma's not feeling well. Yeah, Chloe nodded, tightening the robe's belt. Poor thing's been so stressed. Doctor said it's not good for the baby. I stared at her, my face burning. I'd seen my doctor 3 days ago. Everything was fine, great even. My hands clenched at my sides, nails digging into my palms. That's not true, I said, my voice low but steady. There's no doctor's orders. No bed rest. The air thickened, the silence heavy enough to choke on. Chloe's smile didn't waver, but her eyes sharpened, calculating. Come on, Emma, she said, her tone almost playful. You've been so emotional lately. Maybe you forgot what we talked about. Forgot. I stepped toward her, my belly brushing the edge of the counter. You never told me anything. You didn't text me, and you sure as hell didn't mention canceling my shower. Harper set her gift on the coffee table, her arms crossing. Chloe, what's going on? You told everyone to leave their gifts with you, said Emma wouldn't be opening them today. Chloe's laugh was sharp, like glass breaking. I'm trying to help. Emma's been all over the place, you know how pregnancy hormones are. She waved a hand, dismissing the tension. I figured I'd take some pressure off her. My phone buzzed again. Another friend, another apology. Heard you're not up for the shower. Chloe said to drop gifts with her. I held up the screen, my hand shaking. You told them I'm too fragile to host my own shower. You told them to give you my gifts. Chloe rolled her eyes, but her posture stiffened. You're blowing this out of proportion. I'm doing you a favor. A favor? My voice cracked, raw with disbelief. This wasn't the Chloe who'd planned every detail with me, who'd laughed over mocktail recipes and cried at my ultrasound. The woman in front of me felt like a stranger, wearing my friend's face. Why are you doing this? I asked, barely above a whisper. Harper stepped between us, her voice firm. Chloe, seriously, what the hell? This doesn't add up. Chloe's face hardened, her sweet mask slipping. She untied the towel, letting her damp hair fall over her shoulders. Fine, whatever. I'm done here. She strode toward the bathroom, the robe's belt trailing behind her like a taunt. I sank into a chair, my legs weak. Harper knelt beside me, her hand warm on mine. Emma, what's going on? I don't know, I whispered, but a terrible suspicion coiled in my gut. The shower wasn't canceled, not by me. Chloe had orchestrated this, and I was only starting to see the edges of her plan. The condo felt too quiet now, the absence of balloons and banners screaming louder than any explanation. My baby kicked, a sharp reminder of what this day was supposed to be. I looked at Harper, my voice steady despite the chaos inside. "I think you should leave," I said to the empty hallway where Chloe had disappeared. "And I want my robe back." The condo door clicked open, and Liam stepped inside, his suitcase thudding against the floor. His eyes found mine instantly, worry creasing his brow as he took in my pale face and Harper's tense stance by the coffee table. "Emma, what's wrong?" he asked, dropping his keys with a clatter. The Seattle rain streaked the windows behind him, casting shadows across the bare living room, still void of the baby shower decorations we'd planned. I exhaled shakily, my hand resting on my belly. "Chloe canceled the shower," I said, the words tasting bitter. "She told everyone I'm on bed rest, that the doctor ordered it." "She's been lying to everyone, Liam." Harper nodded, her arms crossed tightly. "She sent texts to all our friends, saying Emma's too stressed to host. Even told them to leave gifts with her, like she's running the show." Liam's jaw tightened, his gaze darting to the half-empty champagne bottle on the counter. "What the hell is she playing at?" He crossed the room, pulling me into a quick hug, his familiar cedarwood scent grounding me for a moment. "Start from the beginning," he said, his voice steady but edged with anger. We sat on the couch, Harper perched on the armrest, as I recounted everything, finding Chloe in the tub, the missing decorations, her fake excuse about texting me. My voice cracked when I showed him the flood of messages from friends, each one apologizing for a cancellation I hadn't authorized. Liam's face darkened with every word, his fingers drumming against his knee. "She's been off lately," he said slowly, almost to himself. "What do you mean?" I asked, my heart skipping. He hesitated, rubbing the back of his neck. "Last month, at that team dinner downtown, Chloe cornered me in the kitchen. Asked if I was ready for how things might change after the baby. Said stuff like, Emma's gonna be stretched thin, with the new role and all." It felt weird, like she was digging for something. Harper's eyes narrowed. "That's not all." She pulled out her phone, scrolling quickly. "You need to see this, Emma." She handed it to me, open to a group chat I wasn't part of. My stomach lurched as I read the messages. Chloe had created it weeks ago, adding everyone except me. The latest text, sent right after she left my condo, read, "Showers back on, 5 p.m. at my loft in Capitol Hill. Emma was too stressed to host, so I'm taking over. Don't tell her it's a surprise." I stared at the screen, my pulse roaring in my ears. "She's throwing my baby shower at her place," I whispered, disbelief choking me. "She's stealing it." Liam leaned over, reading the messages. "This is insane," he muttered. "She's not just lying, she's replacing you." Harper scrolled up, revealing weeks of subtle jabs. Chloe painted herself as the caring friend, helping Emma through pregnancy mood swings, suggesting gift ideas I'd hate, planning games I'd never choose. Each message twisted the knife deeper. I set the phone down, my hands shaking. "How long has she been doing this?" "I don't know," Harper said softly, "but it's not just the shower." She hesitated, glancing at Liam. "Emma, check your texts with Chloe. Anything weird?" I opened our chat history, scrolling back. My finger froze over a gap from 3 days ago. We'd been discussing the guest list, and I'd asked if she'd heard from Ava. No reply, just a jump to the next day when she confirmed she'd be here by noon. "There's a missing text," I said, showing Harper. "I asked about Ava, but it's gone." Liam's eyes widened. "You think she deleted it? When would she have gotten your phone?" My mind raced. "Yesterday," I said, the realization hitting like a punch. "She came over to help sort baby clothes. I left my phone on the counter when I went to the bathroom." Harper's face hardened. "We need to talk to Ava. She's been quiet, but she might know something." I dialed Ava's number, my hands clammy. She answered on the second ring, her voice cautious. "Emma, you okay?" "No," I said, cutting her off. Chloe's been lying. There's no bed rest, no doctor's orders. The shower's still on. Has she said anything to you? A long pause. Then, oh my God, Emma. I thought she was joking. Ava's voice trembled. Last week, at breakfast, she kept making these comments. Said you were using the pregnancy to get attention, that Liam probably felt trapped. I thought it was her weird humor, you know, but it fell off. My chest tightened. She said that. Yeah, I didn't want to upset you. I'm sorry. I hung up, my mind spinning. The condo felt violated, like Chloe's presence had tainted it. Liam stood, pacing. This is more than jealousy, he said. She's trying to rewrite your life. Harper nodded. You need to confront her, Emma. Get your stuff back, decorations, everything. I looked at the empty living room, where balloons and banners should have been. My baby kicked, a fierce little jab, grounding me. You're right, I said, standing despite the ache in my back. We're going to her loft. Tonight. Liam grabbed his jacket, his eyes locked on mine. I'm with you. But we need to be smart about this. Chloe's already shown she's willing to lie. Who knows what else she's capable of? I nodded, fear and determination twisting together. The rain outside grew heavier, drumming against the windows. As we headed for the door, my phone buzzed with another text from a friend. Chloe says you're resting, but I can drop my gift at her place if that's easier. I gripped Liam's hand, my resolve hardening. Chloe wasn't just stealing my shower, she was stealing pieces of me. And I was done letting her. The rain-slick streets of Capitol Hill glowed under neon signs as Liam and I pulled up to Chloe's loft. Through the first-floor windows, I saw yellow and green balloons bobbing against the ceiling, me balloons, the ones Harper and I had spent hours choosing. My chest tightened. This was my baby shower, stolen and reassembled in Chloe's sleek, modern space. Liam squeezed my hand, his voice low. You sure about this, Emma? I nodded, my resolve like steel despite the ache in my lower back. I want my friends to know the truth. I want my stuff back. And I want answers. We climbed the steps, the hum of laughter and music growing louder. My heart pounded as I pressed the doorbell, the chime sharp against the Seattle drizzle. The door swung open, and Chloe stood there, a glass of champagne in hand, her smile bright and practiced. It faltered when she saw us, her eyes flicking from me to Liam. Emma? Liam? What are you doing here? Her voice was too high, too brittle. You know why, I said, stepping forward, forcing her to back up. You stole my baby shower. The room fell silent, conversations dying as our friends turned to stare. I recognized every detail, the handmade banners Harper and I had crafted, the photo slideshow of my pregnancy playing on a loop, the lavender cupcakes I'd ordered from a bakery in Pike Place. My life, displayed like a trophy in Chloe's loft. She laughed, a sharp, nervous sound. Don't be ridiculous, Emma. I was saving your shower. Your condo was a mess, and you were clearly overwhelmed. I moved it here to help. That's a lie, I said, my voice calm despite the rage simmering inside. You canceled my shower without telling me. You told everyone I'm too fragile to host, that I'm on bed rest. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Ava stepped forward, her brow furrowed. Chloe said you asked her to host because your AC broke. My AC's fine, I snapped, my eyes locked on Chloe. I never asked her to do anything. Chloe's smile tightened, her knuckles white around the champagne flute. You're hormonal, Emma. Maybe you don't remember what we talked about. Enough. Liam's voice cut through the tension, firm and unyielding. He held up his phone, showing a screenshot of Chloe's group chat. You sent these messages, Chloe. You told everyone Emma needed to rest, that the shower was off. You didn't tell her a thing. The air grew heavy, eyes darting between us. Chloe's gaze flickered to the gift table, piled high with wrapped packages. I followed her look and spotted a small box with Harper's distinctive handwriting, the gift she'd left at my condo. My stomach lurched. How did that get here? I asked, picking it up. Harper, who'd slipped in behind us, stepped forward. I left that at your place, Emma. On your coffee table. All eyes turned to Chloe, whose face drained of color. I was just making sure everything was perfect, she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. Perfect for who? I asked, my voice shaking now. You took my gift, my decorations, my moment. Why, Chloe? Her mask cracked, bitterness spilling out. You think you're so special, Emma. That promotion at Pacific Crest? It was mine. I had seniority, better numbers, stronger clients. But you waltzed in, pregnant and glowing, and David handed it to you. And now this. She gestured at my belly, her voice rising. You get everything, Liam, the baby, the perfect life. I'm sick of celebrating you. The raw venom in her words stunned me into silence. Our friends shifted uncomfortably, some looking away, others staring at Chloe like they were seeing her for the first time. Ava cleared her throat. Chloe, you told us Emma wanted this. You said she was stressed. She is stressed. Chloe snapped, her eyes wild. She just doesn't see it. I was doing her a favor. No, I said, stepping closer, my baby kicking as if urging me on. You were stealing from me. And you're not getting away with it. Liam touched my arm, his voice low. Let's get our stuff and go. She's not worth it. I nodded, but my eyes stayed on Chloe. I want my key back. The one you used to get into my condo. Her expression flickered surprise, then defiance. I gave it back already. The spare, I said, my voice cold. I want the copy you made without my permission. For a moment, she looked cornered. Then she smirked, tossing her hair. Whatever. I don't need it anymore. She disappeared into her bedroom, returning with a key that she dropped onto the gift table with a dramatic clink. Take your precious decorations and go. Our friends rallied, helping us pack the banners, balloons, and cupcakes into boxes. Chloe retreated to the kitchen, her arms crossed, watching us with a mix of anger and something that looked like fear. As we carried the last box to the door, I paused, looking back at her. This isn't over, I said, my voice steady. You don't get to rewrite my life. Her eyes met mine, sharp and unyielding. Good luck with the baby, Emma. Hope she doesn't ruin your perfect little world. The door closed behind us, the rain swallowing her words. Liam loaded the boxes into the car, his jaw clenched. She's unhinged, he muttered. We need to figure out what she's planning next. I nodded, clutching the key she'd returned. The metal felt cold, foreign, like a reminder of how deeply she'd invaded my life. Harper joined us, her face grim. I checked my phone, she said. Chloe's still texting the group chat, saying you overreacted, that you're not yourself. She's not stopping. My baby kicked again, fierce and insistent. I pressed a hand to my belly, grounding myself. Chloe had taken enough me trust, my joy, my peace. But she wouldn't take my future. As we drove back to the condo, the Seattle skyline blurred through the rain, and a quiet determination settled over me. Whatever Chloe was planning, I'd be ready. The Seattle dawn was gray and heavy as I sat on the couch, staring at the boxes of reclaimed decorations stacked in the corner of our condo. My confrontation with Chloe at her Capitol Hill loft had left me drained, but the fire in my chest burned hotter than ever. She'd stolen more than my baby shower, she'd betrayed our 7-year friendship, and I needed to know how far she'd gone. Liam was already up, making coffee, his silence louder than the rain pattering against the windows. We need to dig deeper, I said, my voice steady despite the ache in my bones. Chloe's not done. Liam nodded, setting a mug in front of me. I talked to Ethan last night, he said, referring to Chloe's now ex-boyfriend. He's shaken up. Said she's been acting strange for months. He mentioned a storage unit she has in Tacoma. Thinks there might be something there. My pulse quickened. A storage unit? Why would she need one? He didn't know, Liam said, his jaw tight. But he saw a box with your name on it once. Thought it was just friend stuff. Now he's not so sure. I stood, ignoring the twinge in my lower back. We're going. Today. Liam hesitated, his eyes searching mine. Emma, this feels like crossing a line. What if it's nothing? Then it's nothing, I said, grabbing my jacket. But she's already crossed every line. I need to know what she's hiding. An hour later, we were in Tacoma, the storage facility's metal gates looming under a drizzling sky. Ethan had texted us the access code and Chloe's spare key, his messages laced with guilt for not seeing her behavior sooner. The lock clicked open, and I pulled up the shutter, revealing a cramped space stuffed with boxes, old furniture, and camping gear. In the back corner, a plastic bin labeled Emma in thick black marker stood out like a warning. Liam grabbed it, his face grim. You ready for this? I nodded, my hands trembling as he pried off the lid. Inside was a chilling archive of my life. Screenshots of my Instagram posts, annotated with Chloe's handwriting. Copies of work emails I'd sent at Pacific Crest. A photo of Liam and me at our engagement party, our faces circled in red ink. Worst of all, a folder stuffed with my medical records, ultrasound images, glucose test results, even notes from my OB-GYN. How did she get this? I whispered, holding up a printout of my latest blood work. Liam's face paled. Your doctor's portal. Remember last year, when you were sick? You gave her your login so she could check your results while you rested. My stomach churned. I'd trusted her completely. Under the papers, I found a small notebook, its pages filled with Chloe's neat script. The title sent ice through my veins, taking back what's mine. It outlined everything ruining my shower, undermining my confidence, sabotaging my role at Pacific Crest. Step 7. Discredit Emma with Pacific Crest clients. Step 8. Offer to take her accounts when she's fired. Step 9. Hint Emma's unstable due to pregnancy. Step 10. Comfort Liam when Emma collapses. Liam read over my shoulder, his breath catching. She's planning to come after me next, he said, his voice low. Once you're out of the picture. The final entry, dated yesterday, read, Emma confronted me at the loft. Speed up the plan. Liam's worried about her perfect opening. Launch final phase at tomorrow's client dinner. What dinner? I asked, my heart racing. Liam's eyes widened. The Pacific Crest dinner with the Coastal Crest execs. Tomorrow night at the Coastal Vine. David emailed about it last week. You were invited. I shook my head. I never got that email. We locked eyes, the truth hitting us both. She's blocking your work emails, Liam whispered. My knees buckled, and I sank to the concrete floor, clutching the notebook. This wasn't just jealousy, it was a calculated plan to erase me. My phone buzzed, jarring me. A text from an unknown number. Found something juicy on Liam's phone. Want to see? Might shake up your perfect marriage. Attached was a photo of Liam and Chloe, their heads close, her hand on his arm. It looked intimate, damning. The timestamp was from yesterday, at the loft. I handed the phone to Liam, my throat tight. What is this? He squinted at the image, his face twisting in disgust. This is from when I grabbed my jacket at her place. She followed me, asking if I was okay, acting all concerned. Nothing happened, Emma. His eyes met mine, pleading. You believe me, right? I wanted to. 7 years of marriage told me I could. But Chloe's lies had planted a seed of doubt, and it rooted fast. I don't know what to believe anymore, I said, my voice sharper than I meant. Liam ran a hand through his hair. She's trying to tear us apart. This is what she wants. My phone buzzed again. Another text from the unknown number. He's lying. Ask about the Coastal Crest conference 3 months ago. I stared at the words, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. Responding felt like stepping into Chloe's trap, but ignoring it left me in the dark. Before I could decide, a message from Harper popped up. Liam just got a weird call from Chloe, fishing about your marriage, saying she's worried. I shut her down, but you should know. I showed Liam both texts, my voice shaking. She's not stopping. He nodded, his face hardening. Then we don't either. We turn her game against her. Back at the condo, I called Ethan again. He answered, sounding exhausted. Emma, there's more. Chloe's been obsessed with you for months. She's got a file of your social media, your schedule. I thought it was normal friend stuff until now. My skin crawled. Where is she now? She texted me this morning, saying she's balancing the scales. She was laughing, then crying. I'm worried. I hung up, turning to Liam. We're meeting her at the Coastal Vine tomorrow. But we're not playing her game. I pulled out my phone, opening the recording app. Harper and Ava can back us up. We'll catch her in her own lies. Liam's hand found mine, steadying me. You don't have to do this alone. I know, I said, feeling the baby kick, fierce and alive. Chloe had taken enough, but she wouldn't take my fight. As the rain drummed outside, I steeled myself for what was coming, knowing the truth was my only weapon. The Coastal Vine buzzed with Sunday night energy, its dim lighting and secluded corners perfect for what I had planned. Seattle's waterfront glimmered outside, but inside, my focus was razor-sharp. I spotted Chloe immediately, seated at a corner table, her back to the wall, eyes scanning the entrance like a predator. She wore a sleek black dress I'd once complimented, her hair flawless, makeup precise. When she saw me, her smile was slow, calculated, but it never reached her eyes. Emma, she said, gesturing to the chair across from her. You came alone. Smart move. I sat, my hand brushing the phone in my pocket, the recording app already running. My 7-month belly pressed against the table's edge, the baby kicking as if sensing the stakes. Cut the small talk, Chloe, I said, my voice steady. What do you want? She sipped her wine, her gaze locked on me over the glass's rim. Always so direct. That's what I've admired about you, Emma. So driven, so perfect. Her smile stretched, sharp as a blade. But perfection's fragile, isn't it? My jaw tightened. Get to the point. What's your game? She set the glass down with a soft clink, leaning forward. The promotion at Pacific Crest was mine. Seniority, better metrics, stronger client ties. But you charmed David, played the glowing mom-to-be card, and stole it. Then there's Liam. Her eyes glinted, venomous. Did you know he noticed me first? At that industry gala 7 years ago, he bought me a drink, smiled that smile. Then you showed up, all perfect hair and confidence, and he was gone. My heart pounded, but I kept my face neutral. That was years ago, Chloe. Even if it's true, why does it matter now? Because it's always the same, she hissed, her voice rising before she caught herself. You take what's mine of me job, my man, even this baby. Her gaze dropped to my belly, disgust flickering across her face. I was trying with Ethan, you know. I wanted a baby first. But you had to beat me to that, too. I froze, stunned. I didn't know you were trying, I said softly. You never told me. Of course not, she snapped. It's always about you, Emma. Your life, your wins. But that changes now. How? I asked, my voice calm despite the storm inside. Her smile turned cold, deliberate. By tomorrow morning, Pacific Crest's execs will get an email from your account, proving you've been inflating budgets for months. David will see you're unfit for that promotion. And Liam. She pulled out her phone, swiping to a photo of her and Liam, her hand on his arm, their heads close. He'll get this, along with a few others. Photoshop's a beautiful thing. Your perfect marriage won't survive a pregnant wife who's not as loyal as she seems. My hands clenched under the table, nails biting into my palms. So that's it, I said. Frame me for fraud, ruin my marriage with fake photos, and take my place at Pacific Crest. Chloe leaned back, smug. Exactly. Step down from Coastal Crest. Recommend me as your replacement. Tell everyone you're overwhelmed by pregnancy complications. Her eyes flicked to my belly. Those glucose numbers are concerning, aren't they? Gestational diabetes can be so stressful. The casual mention of my private medical results sent a chill down my spine. She'd hacked my doctor's portal, violated every boundary. I forced myself to breathe, to stay focused. And if I do that, you'll leave my family alone? Oh, I'll do more than that, she said, her voice sickly sweet. I'll help Liam through the heartbreak of losing his perfect wife. He deserves someone stronger, someone who gets him. I'd heard enough. My hand slipped into my pocket, pressing stop on the recorder. Thanks, Chloe, I said, my voice icy. That's exactly what I needed. Confusion flashed across her face. What? I stood carefully, one hand on my belly. You should know Liam's with David and the IT director right now, reviewing server logs that show you accessed my account. Ethan's giving a statement about the storage unit full of my personal info. And this conversation. I pulled out my phone, showing the recording app. It's all on here. Her face went ashen, her wine glass trembling in her hand. You're bluffing. Am I? I nodded toward the bar where Harper sat, her phone angled to record us. Behind Chloe, Ava emerged from the restroom hallway, her own phone in hand, her expression grim. You admitted to spying, harassment, blackmail, and accessing my medical records. That's a federal crime, Chloe. She lunged for my phone, her chair scraping the floor. I stepped back, bumping into a solid presence. Liam was behind me, his hand steady on my shoulder. It's over, Chloe, he said, his voice low, final. Her eyes darted between us, then to the entrance, where David stood with 2 security guards, his face a mask of fury. Chloe's confidence shattered, tears spilling down her cheeks. You don't understand, she whispered, her voice breaking. I just wanted what you have. What I deserved. For a fleeting moment, I saw the girl I'd know, the one who'd laughed with me over late-night study sessions, who dreamed big by my side. Then I remembered the notebook, her meticulous plan to destroy me. What you deserve, I said gently, is to face the consequences. Just like anyone else. The guards approached, their footsteps heavy on the polished floor. Chloe shrank back, her shoulders slumping as they escorted her toward the exit. David stepped forward, his voice tight. Emma, we'll handle this legally. Pacific Crest doesn't tolerate this kind of behavior. I'm sorry you went through this. I nodded, exhaustion washing over me. Thank you, David. Outside, the rain had stopped, the air cool and sharp. Chloe was led to a police car, her head bowed, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. Just before the door closed, her eyes met mine across the lot. There was no defiance left, only a hollow emptiness that chilled me deeper than her anger ever had. Liam wrapped an arm around my waist, his warmth grounding me. You don't need to watch this, he said softly. I know, I said, but my eyes lingered until the car pulled away. The adrenaline drained from my body, leaving me shaky, hollow. Harper and Ava joined us, their faces a mix of relief and sorrow. You did it, Harper said, squeezing my hand. She's done. But it didn't feel like victory. My best friend had tried to unravel my life, and I'd never seen it coming. As we walked to the car, Liam's hand steady on my back, I felt the baby kick, fierce and alive. It was a reminder of what I'd fought for, what Chloe could never take. The drive home was quiet, the Seattle skyline a blur of lights. What now? Liam asked as we pulled into our condo's garage. I sighed, my head against the window. Pacific Crest is suing her for corporate espionage. I'm filing for a restraining order. We've changed the locks, the passwords. But it's not just that. I turned to him, my voice soft. I doubted you, Liam. Even for a moment. I'm sorry. His eyes softened, pain flickering there. I doubted you too, when those photos came. We're human, Emma. But we're here now. I nodded, the weight of our trust fragile but intact settling between us. The baby kicked again, and I pressed a hand to my belly, knowing the fight wasn't over. Chloe was gone, but the scars she'd left would take time to heal. As we climbed the stairs to our condo, I steeled myself for what came next, determined to rebuild what she'd tried to break. Morning light filtered through the condo curtains, soft and gray, as I shuffled into the kitchen. Liam stood there, a coffee mug in hand, his eyes heavy from a night on the couch. The Seattle rain had started again, a gentle patter against the windows, but the silence between us felt louder. Last night's victory at the Coastal Vine hadn't erased the wounds Chloe left. My hand rested on my belly, the baby's steady kicks anchoring me. "David called," Liam said, his voice flat. "Chloe's been charged. Corporate espionage, harassment, the works." I nodded, unsurprised. "What else?" "They found more in her loft," he said, setting his mug down. "Recordings of your calls, screenshots of private texts. No photos of me, though. Like I said, they never existed." Relief flickered, but it didn't erase the ache. Pacific Crest rescheduled the Coastal Crest meeting for Wednesday. "David wants me to take a few days off." "You need it," Liam said, his gaze steady. "This isn't normal, Emma." "None of it." "I know," I snapped, sharper than I meant. I took a breath, softening. "I just want normal back. I don't know how to process this." "Me neither," he admitted. He hesitated, then pulled an old leather notebook from the counter. "Ethan dropped this off. Found it in Chloe's things. It's from before we met." I opened it, my hands unsteady. The first entry, dated 9 years ago, was from when Chloe and I were new friends at UW. Her words chilled me. "Emma landed the big internship today. Everyone's obsessed, but she just got lucky. That should have been mine." Page after page detailed her fixation not just on me, but on the life she thought I had. "Emma's dating Liam now. Always gets the best guys. I wonder what it's like to be her, to have everything handed to you." The entries grew darker, her jealousy twisting into something sinister. The final page stopped me cold. I tried being like Emma. I tried hating her. Neither worked. As long as she's here, I'll always be second. The only way is to become her. To take her place. I closed the notebook, trembling. "She didn't just want my life," I whispered. "She wanted to be me." Liam nodded, his face grim. "Ethan's working with her family to get her help. Therapy, maybe more." "Good," I said, setting the notebook aside. We sat in silence, the weight of her betrayal heavy between us. I broke it, my voice quiet. "Chloe said I took what was hers. What if there's truth to that? What if I didn't see my own privilege, my luck?" Liam considered it, his fingers tracing the mug's handle. "Maybe there's some truth. We all miss things. But her choice to destroy you instead of talking, that's on her, not you." "I know," I said, meeting his eyes. "But it makes me think. About how I move through the world, how I treat people. I don't want to be blind to anyone's pain." "That's growth," he said softly. "Finding something worth keeping, even in this mess." I reached for his hand, our fingers lacing together. "I'm sorry I doubted you, Liam. Even for a second." "I get why you did," he said, squeezing my hand. "Trust is fragile. We're learning that." The baby kicked, strong and fierce, making me gasp. Liam's hand moved to my belly, his face softening as he felt her move. "She's gonna be tough," he said. "Like her mom." I smiled, but my voice was serious. "I don't feel tough. I feel different." "Different how?" I paused, choosing my words. "I thought I knew people. Now I see how much we hide resentments, hurts. Everyone's fighting battles we can't see, even those closest to us." "Especially them," Liam agreed. I looked at our joined hands. "But I won't let that make me cynical. I choose trust, even knowing it can break." His eyes met mine, warm with understanding. "That's the bravest thing I've ever heard." Outside, the rain fell harder, washing the world clean. We were changed, more cautious, but awake to each other, to the fragile, precious life we'd almost lost. I held Liam's hand tighter, ready to face whatever came next together.